I can't prove it ever happened. We'll keep doing what we're doing and we'll put on a show, but at the end of the day, all we have is a testimony of two people accused of murder.
In the high-pressure, glossy world of Hollywood fame, very few names still hit different like Tom Cruise. When it comes to acting, power, and how the industry really moves, his voice carries serious weight, and people listen whether they like it or not. For more than 40 years, Cruise hasn't just stayed on top of the box office, he's been watching everyone else climb up. He's known for spotting raw potential early, that spark most people miss, the kind that turns a hungry actor into a full-blown superstar. His past proves it, working with faces nobody knew back then who later took over screens everywhere. That reputation didn't happen by accident. Cruise understands what real superstardom takes today, not just talent, but swagger, discipline, and that hard-to-explain pull that locks eyes to the screen. He calls it screen magnetism, and you either have it or you don't. While executives chase numbers and critics break things down piece by piece, Cruise sees the bigger picture. To him, true movie stars rise above trends, reviews, and math. In recent talks with Variety and Empire magazine, he's openly focused on 5 actors he believes have that rare mix to dominate Hollywood's chaotic new era. Timothée Chalamet. When Tom Cruise talks about him, the energy shifts fast, almost like he's speaking on a Hollywood legend instead of a modern star. Cruise has made it clear that Timothée has something rare, something that can't be coached, copied, or forced. As Cruise once said, that quality can't be taught or manufactured, and he wasn't exaggerating. Cruise first clocked Chalamet's potential after watching Call Me By Your Name. He saw a dangerous mix of softness and intensity, the kind that pulls you in without begging for attention. To Cruise, it echoed the early vibes of icons like Marlon Brando and James Dean, not in imitation, but in raw presence that feels real and unfiltered. What really locked Cruise in was how Chalamet handled physically demanding roles. His prep for Dune showed serious discipline, long hours, and full commitment, not just vibes and fashion headlines. Cruise respects that grind because that's the line between a lasting career and a quick hype run. Cinematographer Greg Fraser, who has worked with both men, pointed out that they move the same way mentally. He said they believe the camera catches everything, every thought, every pause. Cruise also respects Chalamet's fearlessness, taking creative swings even in massive productions, proving he can balance art house respect with blockbuster power. And then there's mainstream appeal. What really fires Tom Cruise up about Timothée Chalamet's rise is the way the younger actor gets the mythology of movie stardom without anyone spelling it out for him. Cruise has noticed how Timothée naturally brings heat to the screen, turning simple scenes into moments people replay and talk about. Cruise has made it clear that this kind of presence can't be learned from acting classes alone. It's instinct, timing, and mindset. From their short run-ins at industry events, Cruise believes Timothée has the mental toughness to handle fame without losing himself. As Cruise put it, he's got the hunger, but even more important, he knows how to aim that hunger instead of letting it burn him out. Now, when it comes to Zendaya, Cruise's respect runs deep because she represents how superstardom has shifted while still keeping its old-school magic. She understands that being a movie star today means showing range across platforms, audiences, and styles without watering yourself down. In a conversation with Entertainment Weekly, Cruise praised her ability to move from quiet, emotional scenes to massive action moments with the same sharp focus. He first took real notice during her jump from Disney Channel fame to serious roles, impressed by how she dropped old labels completely while keeping her natural glow. That balance is rare, and Cruise sees it clearly. The Mission Impossible legend has been especially impressed with Zendaya's physical grind when it comes to demanding roles. Cruise pays close attention to that side of the job, and her prep for the Spider-Man action scenes seriously caught his eye. To him, that level of commitment is non-negotiable if you want to survive in modern blockbuster territory. Stunt coordinator George Cotto, who has worked with both stars, shared Cruise's reaction after watching Zendaya handle her own wire work. Tom instantly saw a kindred spirit, someone who understands that real action doesn't look real unless the actor puts their body on the line. For Cruise, authenticity in big action moments starts with genuine physical effort, no shortcuts. But it's not just about stunts. Cruise has also praised Zendaya for finding real emotion inside wild, over-the-top worlds. He sees a rare mix in her performances, grounded and believable, yet still carrying that larger-than-life glow that fills the screen. What really seals the deal for Cruise is her long-game mindset. Zendaya picks projects with strategy, showing different sides of her talent while building something that lasts. She can jump from intimate dramas like Malcolm and Marie straight into massive films like Dune and still feel like the same star. That kind of consistency across genres is what separates hype from legacy. Cruise has also taken serious notice of how Zendaya handles fame itself. He's pointed out her smart balance between staying mysterious while still feeling reachable, something that's getting harder by the day in the non-stop social media era. People close to the sets have said she carries a rare mix of openness and inner strength, the kind that creates real movie stars, not just trending names. Even more impressive, she knows how to protect that gift while still giving audiences enough to stay locked in. Now let's talk Austin Butler. His rise from television roles to full-on movie star mode grabbed Tom Cruise's attention in a major way. What Austin did with Elvis wasn't surface-level acting or costume play. As Cruise told American cinematographer, it was a full mental and emotional takeover, the kind of deep commitment that separates serious artists from people just reading lines. Cruise respects that grind because it mirrors his own approach. He's been especially impressed with Austin's ability to disappear into a role completely, leaving nothing of himself behind. What hit Cruise hardest wasn't just the voice or the moves, but how Austin captured the inner pressure, ambition, and emotional weight that shaped Elvis as a person. That depth told Cruise one thing loud and clear: this guy isn't chasing moments, he's building a legacy.
Director Baz Luhrmann broke it down for Tom Cruise in detail. He shared how Austin Butler didn't just study Elvis the man, he studied the whole world around him. The music, the pressure, the era, the culture, all of it. Baz made it clear that Austin understood one thing early on. Playing Elvis meant carrying an entire generation on his shoulders. When Cruise heard that, it clicked instantly. That level of all-in preparation is something Tom respects deeply because it's the same standard he holds himself to. You don't fake that kind of commitment, and you definitely can't rush it. Cruise has also praised Butler's courage in even touching such a legendary figure. To him, that choice showed smart risk-taking, the kind that defines careers instead of wrecking them. It wasn't reckless, it was calculated and confident. What impressed Cruise just as much was what Butler did after the breakout. Instead of chasing the same role again, Austin picked projects that pushed him forward without trapping him in one image. Cruise sees that as a power move. From their talks at industry events, Cruise is convinced Butler has both the creative fire and the street-smart discipline to survive at the top. That mix of ambition and brains is rare, and Tom doesn't miss it. He's got the hunger and the discipline, Cruise summed it up, along with that hard-to-name spark that makes people buy into whatever world he builds on screen. That same sharp eye is exactly why Anya Taylor-Joy landed on Tom Cruise's radar in a big way. Cruise's interest in Anya comes from how she controls the screen using pure intelligence and calm intensity. She doesn't rush scenes, she bends them. As Cruise told Variety, she makes it feel like you're watching something you're not supposed to see, and that energy hits different. Even in simple moments, Anya layers in psychological depth that raises the whole scene. Cruise first clocked her serious potential after watching The Queen's Gambit. What stood out was her mix of emotional openness and cold calculation, a balance that reminded him of classic film noir legends. The Mission Impossible star has been especially impressed by how Anya can lead both small, intimate character stories and massive genre projects without losing control of the frame. She brings the same focus no matter the scale. Cinematographer Matthew Libatique, who's watched both actors work on separate sets, pointed out how similar their mindsets are. He noted they fully disappear in the characters, staying locked in at every moment. That level of presence is rare, and Cruise sees it loud and clear. Both Anya and Tom know one cold truth about filmmaking. When the camera locks in, it turns into a microscope. As Matthew Libatique observed, they're never anything less than fully honest with their emotions, and that level of authenticity is not for the weak. Cruise has openly praised Anya Taylor-Joy for leaning into roles that mess with the mind. These are the kinds of parts that scare off actors who don't trust their own depth. To Cruise, that fearlessness is exactly how screen legends are made, not by playing it safe, but by going where it's uncomfortable. What really fires Cruise up about Anya's rise is how naturally she creates mystery in a world drowning in overexposure. She knows how to stay visible without giving everything away, and that balance takes real emotional intelligence. Cruise has pointed out how she keeps an enigmatic edge on screen while still being easy to work with behind the scenes. That combo is rare and powerful. In her performances, Cruise sees what he calls controlled wildness. It's that dangerous spark hinting at deep psychological chaos, all while staying technically sharp and precise. After running into her at film festivals, Cruise is convinced Anya has the mental depth to carry a career built on bold, transformative roles. As he put it, she makes audiences uncomfortable in the best way. And that's exactly how true movie stars leave their mark. Glen Powell. Tom Cruise's excitement about him says a lot, because to Cruise, some actors are just born for movie stardom. He believes Powell has that almost built-in charm, blending old-school Hollywood appeal with a modern edge that reminds people why movies became magic in the first place. As Cruise told Empire magazine, he brings joy and realness to everything he does, and that kind of energy is rare in today's overly polished, cynical industry. Tom first clocked Powell's star power while working together on Top Gun Maverick, impressed by how Glen stood tall next to heavyweight stars without fading into the background for a second. What really stood out to Cruise was Powell's natural feel for mixing humor with intensity. He knows when to lighten the moment and when to lock in, even in high-pressure action scenes. Cruise sees that versatility as essential because it mirrors how modern blockbusters have to move. Director Joseph Cassini later shared Cruise's reaction to Powell during Top Gun Maverick's toughest flight sequences. Tom instantly recognized a performer who could pull real emotion out of jaw-dropping spectacle. No fake bravado needed. Cruise has since praised Powell for fully embracing both the physical grind and emotional weight of action filmmaking. In his eyes, Glen isn't just franchise-ready. He's the kind of star who can carry big films without losing credibility or soul. What really stands out to Tom Cruise about Glen Powell's rise is the smart strategy behind every move. Powell didn't rush for cheap spotlight moments. Instead, he stacked momentum the right way, choosing strong supporting roles in big-name films and letting his presence do the talking. Cruise sees that as a clear sign of someone who understands long-term power, not quick clout. To Cruise, Powell's relationship with fame shows real maturity. He's not chasing attention, he's building value. Tom believes Glen gets something a lot of people miss. Sustainable stardom comes from patience, discipline, and knowing when to say no. Their continued friendship has only reinforced Cruise's belief in Powell's future. He sees both the work ethic and the natural charm needed to survive Hollywood at the highest level. As Cruise put it, he knows serving the story comes first, but he also has that pull that makes audiences want to ride with him wherever he goes. Cruise believes Powell carries that classic movie star energy that could help bring people back to theaters in a fractured entertainment world. And when Tom Cruise talks about the next wave of stars, he's not guessing, he's reading the signs. For Cruise, these 5 performers represent the future of cinema. They bring courage, intelligence, emotional truth, and box office instincts that can't be faked. If you want more deep dives like this into Hollywood power moves and rising legends, make sure you subscribe to the Juicy Reel channel now. You don't want to miss what's coming next.